For more than a century, Afghanistan has endured some of the deadliest earthquakes in the world. Its geography explains why. The country sits at the junction of three massive tectonic plates: the Indian, the Eurasian and the Arabian. Where these plates collide beneath the towering Hindu Kush and Pamir ranges lies one of the most seismically active zones on Earth. The constant movement of these plates stores enormous energy until it is released violently, producing devastating earthquakes. On the night of 31st August 2025, that geological reality struck again. At 11:47 p.m., a 6.0 magnitude earthquake hit Kunar Province in eastern Afghanistan. The epicenter was in Nurgal district at a shallow depth of just 8 kilometers. The shallow focus meant the tremor's energy was released close to the surface, amplifying its power. Entire villages across Kunar, Nangarhar, Laghman, Nuristan and Panjshir were shaken violently, with parts of Kunar registering violent intensity on the Mercalli scale. Landslides followed, burying whole communities under rock and mud. The human cost has been catastrophic. At least 1,400 people are confirmed dead and more than 3,500 injured. In Wadir village, up to 90% of residents were either killed or injured. In Mazar-e-Dara, 95% of homes collapsed, leaving dozens dead and nearly 100 wounded. Andhar Lachak village reported 79 deaths, while Choke district confirmed 200 fatalities. In Kunar alone, more than 5,400 homes were destroyed. 2 days later, on September 2nd, a 5.2 magnitude aftershock struck the same region, triggering more landslides and blocking already fragile mountain roads. Heavy rains worsened the situation, leaving survivors trapped without food, water or medical aid for days. Rescue operations slowed as roads vanished under rubble, and in many places, villagers were left to dig with their own bare hands. Several factors combined to make this disaster especially deadly. Homes in the affected areas were mostly built from mud brick and unreinforced stone, materials that collapse easily when shaken. The shallow depth of the main earthquake intensified destruction. Pre-quake rains had already saturated the soil, raising the risk of landslides. And Afghanistan's lack of early warning systems or modern rescue equipment meant precious hours were lost in the immediate aftermath. This tragedy also reveals a larger truth. Afghanistan's decades of war and political turmoil have left it defenseless not only against conflict but against nature itself. Successive governments, whether Taliban, foreign-backed or earlier regimes, have lacked the stability and resources to build resilience. Seismic monitoring networks, earthquake-resistant construction, and emergency response systems remain either absent or woefully underdeveloped. Experts warn that more earthquakes are inevitable. The Indian plate continues moving northward at nearly 40 to 50 millimeters per year, colliding with Eurasia and building pressure along fault lines until it erupts violently. Without serious investment in preparedness, future quakes will bring the same grim cycle: collapsed villages, mass casualties, and desperate survivors. Breaking the cycle requires more than short-term aid. It means building long-term resilience, installing seismic stations, training disaster response teams, enforcing safer building codes, and pre-positioning supplies even in remote valleys. Earthquakes cannot be stopped, but the scale of human tragedy can be reduced. For over a century, Afghanistan's fate has been shaped by restless tectonic plates. Yet human choices about war, governance, and investment have determined whether these tremors become manageable disasters or national catastrophes. The August 31st quake is the latest reminder: the earth will shake again. The real question is whether Afghanistan will be prepared when it does. I'm Dayan Rahmani. Keep watching PolicyWire.